just means hello.
Hey Screenmates, I'm Nick.
I'm Steph.
And I'm Miles.
And that is our fish Chris, aka Master Reef, named by Emma Wilder. And Emma even sent in a little picture of what Master Reef does in his time off. You guys can't see it, obviously, but it's basically Master Chief.
I love that, Master Reef.
He has fins.
That's so great.
He doesn't look like he's killed anybody.
And it's a great pun.
Look, I'm okay with puns when they're names. Names and titles, that's fine for puns, and it's a good pun. But we are not here to talk about puns today, ladies and gentlemen. If you do want to name the fish, by the way, let us know in the comments using the hashtag #NameThatFish. We are here because we want to talk about our worst gaming habits. That's why. Because the things we're ashamed of, the things that we don't tell anybody. And now we're going to tell you. Who wants to start us off?
Oh, I feel like I have so many, it's difficult to narrow it down.
Well, I did tell you to narrow it down to 2 each, so I hope you did that.
I did do that. I feel like though, for my first one, I'm gonna group a few into a category that will be my first.
This is a bad habit. What you're doing right now is classic Steph bad habit.
So I get very involved in the gaming experience and I forget to do core important things like reload, quick save, or lock on. Those are that's the trifecta of things that you need to do in video games quite regularly, and I always forget.
To me, that's really interesting that you're like, I get really involved in video games, but I don't do the 3 things that are pretty much make sure I continue playing the game.
Because I'm in the moment. I'm in the moment.
Yeah, well, I have played PUBG with you, and I have seen the moments where you haven't reloaded.
Yeah.
And I'm like, get him! And it's click, click, ah! And then you get beaten to death by a naked woman with a frying pan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's bad. That's not good stuff.
It's really frustrating. And the lock-on one is just really simple. I feel like I'm getting better at all of them because I'm just kind of, it's one of those things you just have to like habit and you have to drill into yourself. But like, it's just super frustrating when I'm just like, why am I just hitting next to them? Like,
whenever I forget something, I have a little post-it note. And I just stick it somewhere that I'm going to see it. Do you reckon if you just put on the edge of the television, Steph, reload your gun, then that would be helpful?
Yeah.
Or would you die while you're reading the post-it?
Yeah. Well, the other thing that I've found really helpful is when I Twitch stream, people have made specific emotes for reload and quick save.
I love this.
So that they can,
this.
they'll spam the chat and be like, reload, Steph, reload. And I'm like, thanks, guys.
But Twitch is on a 30-second delay. Are they spamming it 30 seconds before you get in a fight?
I mean,
they're like, I know what's about to happen.
Probably, yeah.
That's great. Miles, number 1?
My number 1 bad habit in games, and this is very telling of real life, is to just not listen during cutscenes. And zone out horribly and get my phone and do whatever. And then when it's like mission objective, go find the thing. I'm like, what's the thing again? And I just haven't paid any attention for the last minute and a half. Like it happened the other night with the game I was playing yesterday, and I was like, I have no idea where I am or why this is happening. It's like waking up after like a big night of drinking, and I'm like, items, ammunition, quest marker. Oh, what's this way? It's just terrible. It's a bad habit.
That's why those games that have like a journal of every conversation
are
so useful. Because you can go back and be like, what was all that stuff that guy said that sounded like it was probably important, but I was making a toasted sandwich? I was
just checking my body. That's why The Witcher 3 is really good for that, because Dandelion, the bard, writes that stuff down in quite a fun, dramatic way, and I'm like, cool, this sounds exciting. I wish I remembered it.
A little, adjacent to that, I do like when games do that thing of like, when you start it back up and you load in, which The Witcher does, gives you a little, here's the story so
Previously
far.
on
Yeah,
The Witcher.
and adds the little bits that, I appreciate that, because sometimes I tune out as well.
I've got one more, which is so specific to like you and the room, and that's that in multiplayer games, I abandon and betray my teammates, and that's a really bad habit I've got. So if you do play with me online, I will abandon and betray you.
Is that a bad habit, or is that just like a core shit part of your personality?
No, it's a bad habit.
No, at first I didn't agree with Steph, but then when you said the second part about you being a shit person, that's definitely where
I've got a lot of work.
Andrew behind the camera right now. This is Andrew right now going,
He's nodding.
because he's like, I've died so many times because Miles just leaves every man behind.
I'm just thinking too much, you know, I'm thinking about where the other players are and what we need to do as a team, and in the end I just let all my teammates die, and then I'm just like, oh, it's me again on my own again?
Yeah, you are a terrible person.
I'm sorry.
You're not sorry.
I'm sorry.
If you're sorry, you wouldn't do it.
I've addressed this and we've had chats about it. I'm trying to fix this.
No, you're not.
I'm trying to fix this.
I play games with you on a daily basis. You are not trying to fix this.
I'm trying to fix this.
I just think when the zombie apocalypse comes, we all really need to work together as a unit.
And we will.
And dudes that work on their own for themselves get eaten.
I'm a lone wolf, baby.
I think when the zombie apocalypse comes, it's Team Nick and Steph,
Yeah.
and then Miles is somewhere else.
Yeah, but Miles will have 2 zombies, like, cohort with him, and a hood, and a samurai sword. Who would you rather have on your team, huh? Huh?
It's still Nick and
It's still
Steph.
Steph.
My first worst gaming habit is I will, and this particularly happens in sort of RPG open world games,
Oh, yeah.
is I will go into the game and I'm like, this is the game. This is the game that Nick is gonna see everything. This is the one where it's like, unlock everything, find all the secrets, really soak in all the side stories and the narrative. And so for the first like 2 hours of the game, I will do everything. And I will like clear out every little side quest, find every bit of treasure and an additional story and blah, blah, blah. And then after 2 hours, I've made, 1% progress in the actual story. And I'm like, I'm really sick of this game now. because I haven't really accomplished anything. All I've done is just like I've cleared out one area and then it's like, oh, I can't continue this. And then I start mainlining the story and then I fall off because I'm like, I've already played enough of this game. Because I spent all the friggin' first few hours just like doing all of it without actually focusing on the meat. I'm just eating what's around the meat? Salad.
Sides.
Yeah, that's interesting, because I was going to say that my second habit is that I'm too pedantic about the way that I approach open world gaming. And that I have, like I set out, I don't let myself just kind of, be taken up in the moment, because I'm like, no, I had a plan for how I wanted these quests to go in the order that I wanted to do them in. And even though this is a really beautiful moment, I need to finish that stuff before I will come back to this. And it kind of takes away from the spontaneity of game design, because I'm just like, I get so full on about clearing everything out in a certain order.
And you don't just let the game dictate the way that it wants you to find this world.
And it sounds like you have a similar issue. The problem is you just get burnout and then you...
I just burn out on the game at the beginning with all the worst stuff. Like, there's no game where the side missions at the beginning of the game are like the meatiest part.
Do you have a problem with them with like a mini map? If you can see like the world map in a game and they have all of the little things you can do, like for example, in The Witcher, we keep going back to it, you have all those little question marks, and you're like, they're all little nuggets of stuff I can do.
I really want to get all those.
But, exactly. But then, what about a game where you don't know where those things are, and you have to discover them?
Yeah, but often
that's better,
often
because
well,
you don't get distracted.
If the game design is good, then you shouldn't be leveled high enough to be able to get to those areas until you have leveled high enough.
Yeah.
So you can't just go and clear out all that stuff first. You need to progress through the map at a certain rate.
Yeah.
So I thought you were going to finish talking much earlier, and then you started, and I realized I grabbed your hands way too soon. But I'm here to agree with you and say that's exactly why I love Zelda Breath of the Wild, because the map is completely bare, and then as you play the game and you accomplish things, that's when the icons turn up. And so the icons are a trail of like, here's what you've done, as opposed to here's what you have to do. And then that makes it much better, because then I go, there's not objectives that I'm missing. It's like, I don't need to go do this, that, and the other, because I can't see them. So I'll just follow the story, and those things will pop up as it comes. Yeah, much better. So your second habit was it the RPG thing?
Not allowing myself to kind of give myself over to the spontaneity of the game, because I'm too pedantic about the way that I want to complete everything.
And yours was that you're just a shit human being.
Yeah.
And so then I guess it's back to me. So my last one is I will be playing a game, and I'll get maybe 4 or 5 hours in, and I'm really enjoying it. And then there's a bunch of other games coming out, and I've got my own life going on, and I just go to myself, I wonder how much longer I've got in this game. And so I go to howlongtobeat.com, and I just type in the name of the game, and it tells you like the average amount of time it took people to finish the game. And as soon as I see that number, I go, well, I've been playing for 5 hours, and I've got 15 hours to go. Oh god, I have 10 hours left in this game. And even if it's my favorite game of all time, I'm now counting down until I'm finished with this game. And it means that I stop enjoying.
No.
As soon as I look at how long I have left, I'm like, I stop enjoying it, and now I'm working towards this like, just this dumb number where I'm like, finally I can get this game out of my life. It's awful. And if I don't look at that, then I'm always in the world.
Yeah, that's no way to live.
It's no way to live. It's no way to play a game.
I think some people block Facebook because it disrupts their productivity. You have to block that website from all of your browsers.
I need to pay like $80 a year for the Net Nanny subscription, if that's still a thing, and not block pornography, but definitely block just howlongtobeat.com. Okay, now it's time for you guys to have your screen say. I put the call out on Twitter, and here are your answers. But first, the titles. Our first answer comes in from RJ Bone, who says attempting to use a character creator, getting to the point where I think they look good, and then 3 hours into the game, decide that one horrible flaw in their appearance is too much and start over, usually with a pre-generated character.
Yes, I do that too, but to be fair, so many games don't accurately create the lighting environment in the game in the character creator.
Monster
so it
Hunter.
looks totally different.
I'm looking at you, Monster Hunter!
Monster Hunter let you change the lighting at the press of a button. You could see what they look like at twilight, at bloody nighttime, when the sun's coming up, and I was like, oh, I look great in all these angles. I'm gonna stick with it.
Weird shadows cast on their face, giving them some weird, like,
No.
jawline that you don't want there. And I'm like, that wasn't there when I was designing her beautiful feminine face.
That's so true, and there's a total difference between like the character in game and the character in the cutscene. That like the Monster Hunter characters in the cutscene, their eyes are suddenly sunken back into the middle of their head.
Yeah.
It's just like, this looks nothing like my cool character. As soon as the lips start moving, I'm like, I never would have given you those lips if I knew that's how this was gonna go.
I feel like my issue is that I always give them, like, I never want them to have too prominent a chin, and I put them in profile, and I'm like, oh yeah, that looks like a nice face, and then like I get into the game and they're a Muppet, like their mouth just sinks into their head. What have I done?
That's great. The next answer comes in from Rogi ZZ. Your mate Rogi, who was on the show yesterday, says reloading after every kill, even if I still have 2/3 of ammo left in the clip. So the opposite of you. And I do that too. I do it all the time.
I do that as well, and he's the sign of a goddamn professional. You can be ready for anything at any moment, at any time.
So if you have missed a few times and you used more bullets than you felt you needed to, you reload.
No. Like if I was so right now I'm playing.
Oh,
a lot
you
of Siege.
reload your gun regardless. Yeah. Okay.
So like I could do one shot and headshot the guy and he's dead, and I'll instantly reload. Or I could do 3 shots. I still have. The worst one is when it's machine guns, because that clip takes ages to reload. It's got 60 bullets. I've shot 3 of them, and I'm like, now's a good time to reload. And I just like start that in the middle of the trenches.
There can be a giant blinking thing on the screen saying "reload your gun," and I just won't see it.
And you would just look past.
And I'm there being like, who am I going to shoot next?
Time Crisis, where the game was like, reload! It screamed at you. Like, of course, you shoot off screen.
Yeah, you shoot off screen.
Of course, I'm so sorry.
That's what I need.
Yeah, I reckon if you were light gun style, you'd be reloading all the time.
Yeah, probably.
Next one comes in from KKG Binary Code, who says buying games and not playing them or finishing them until years later, but still having opinions on the game like I have finished them. Which I feel like is all of Twitter.
That's classic gamer.
That's a great one. Nort R Hun says 40,000 titles for which I've paid good money, right there and ready to go. But hold up, I'm just gonna play Overwatch every night instead and never get around to any of them. And then, for fun, I'm gonna be anxious about all the games I'm not playing. Which I think, again, is classic gamer.
But I feel like, I mean, if you're having a good time playing Overwatch and that's what's giving you the buzz every night, then...
Yeah, if you're having a good time just doing a bunch of heroin every night, there's no problem with that. You should just keep doing that. That's fine. There's not a problem at all.
There is a word in the Japanese language for a pile of books next to your bed that you have purchased and never read.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know it though.
Well, that was a great anecdote. And then finally, Apricot Gamer says, I sometimes pay EA for things. Oh! I bet there's a word in Japanese for that as well. What is it?
Whatever he says now is going to sound racist, so don't make him.
No, I was just going to say hentai. Which means pervert.
Alright, what are your guys' worst gaming habits? Let us know in the comments. Name that fish with the hashtag NameThatFish. Until next time, name that fish. Is this how we finish it? Oh no, we remind you to watch the episodes that we had up yesterday. They're over there.
Is
There's
this
2
how
of them.
we finish it?
One's there and one's there.
But also named that fish.